Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I've made over $1 million through a lead arbitrage system. I'm going to walk you through my entire business model, who I target, what I say, why clients work with me, how I'm able to convert them, how I'm able to deliver the results for our clients, and everything in between. And I share this with you basically so you can copy me. So you can take everything that I have done, I have learned, all the trial and error and all the mistakes that I've made, and now I've refined the process and I've been able to earn over $1 million. And I'm going to reveal all in this video. Before we get started, a little bit of proof. There's a screenshot from one of our payment processors doing over $1 million. So what I've done is I've broken it down into multiple steps, what my business is, how I sign clients, how I get paid, how I deliver results, and everything in between. So let's start with the business itself. So it's really broken down into three main sections: who we target, what we do, and why people should work with us. So I'll go into each one individually and talk about them in a little bit more detail. So who we target, we go after marketing agencies, and regardless of who we go after, it's not really important. What is important, you're going to need to make sure that you define who you target. You need to define your audience, define your niche. As they say, there is riches in niches. And it's definitely true. It's not something that, you want to overlook. And if I just take a step back very quickly, you might be thinking, what on earth is a lead arbitrage business? So let me just cover that quickly. So probably easiest to draw it out. So we have a client here or a business owner that wants more leads. So what we do is we generate leads for them on a pay per lead basis. But what we actually do is we pay somebody else to generate the lead for this particular client. And this is us in the middle here with a very smiley face because we're not actually doing any of the work. And so that money comes to us. We pay the lead finder a little bit of money, and everybody wins. So we're basically finding leads for this particular client, charging them, let's say, for example, $200 per lead, and then paying somebody else $100 per lead to actually generate that lead on our behalf, and we profit the difference. So that is a lead arbitrage system. Who do we do it for? We do it for, as I say, marketing agencies. And what do we offer? We offer to generate leads on a pay per lead basis. So that's what we do. We do marketing agencies. I don't need to write this. And what we do is we do pay per lead. How do we do that? We do it through cold email. We generate our clients' leads through cold email. All of this ties in together. Why should somebody work with us? And here's where I think new business owners get stuck, because they're like, well, I've got no experience. I've never done this before. So why should somebody work with me? And that's, in my opinion, looking at it the wrong way. What you need to do is look at why should somebody work with my business? And it's not, again, my business has got lots of credentials, it's been around for a long time, but it's the way that you position your services. So, for example, if I was brand new, and this is what I teach all of our students to do, is I say, if you've not got any experience or any clients, what you should do is charge per lead without any setup fee or anything like that. The reason a business should work with you is because you are completely risk-free. So why businesses work with us is because we are low risk from a financial perspective. Not necessarily if you're thinking about starting your own lead arbitrage system and hopefully generating over $1 million. But for you, it might be that there's low financial risk, and there's basically a high risk reward. So high reward, very low risk. And the reason being is because you're doing things on a pay per lead model. Compare that to somebody that runs a traditional marketing agency, charges $3,000 a month, and they just can't sign any clients. And the reason they can't is because they're not really deserving of signing any clients for $3,000. They haven't got any experience. It's very high risk, very low reward. We want to make sure that one of the reasons that we're able to sign anywhere from 10 to 20 new clients every single month for our lead arbitrage system is because we've made the why very compelling. So not only is it like a pay per lead model, but also what we do is our service has basically very low, what we call second order costs, which makes it even more appealing to the people that we're targeting, which in our scenario is marketing agencies. Now, second order costs, what are these? So let's say, for example, you're an agency, you're trying to sign your first client, you say, you know what, I will do it completely for free. Don't worry, Mr. Prospect, you're in good hands. I will run your Google ads completely for free. How can you possibly say no? Well, business owners are still very likely to say no. And the reason being is because they're not really concerned about the $1,000 that they've got to give you every month. They're concerned about you wasting their $5,000 ad budget. And so the second order costs of working with you, which in that example is Google ad budget, is very high. That makes it very difficult to sign clients because even if they're not paying you, they've got to trust that you're going to allocate their $5,000 budget in a very good way and you're not going to lose them money. So let's say, for example, you do charge $1,000 for your services and you require like a $5,000 budget, or the client's already spending $5,000. They don't want to decrease their ad budget. You basically are charging them $1,000. The budget is for on ads is this. So the total cost to work with you is $6,000. Now, even if you got rid of your expense, the total cost of working with you is still $5,000. So the business owner is still risking $5,000, which is why so many people struggle to sign clients. And you hear all these people that start their own agencies and they can't grow, is because they don't understand the second order costs. They only think about it from their own perspective. They don't think about it from the potential client's perspective and thinking, how much money have I got to put on the table in order to see if this does or does not work out? Now, the reason that we're able to sign so many clients is because we have very, very low, basically no second order costs. We use cold email. One of the reasons we use cold email instead of something like Facebook ads or Google ads or any form of paid advertising is because cold email is extremely, extremely low cost. It's one of the highest ROIs that businesses can use if they do it properly. So we come in and we say, look, you pay per lead, very, very low costs, very low risk, basically. Why wouldn't you do it? And business owners tend to agree. And that's why we're able to sign as many clients as we do. That's the business offering right there. That is what we do. We target marketing agencies, we sell them leads basically, and we generate the leads through cold email. And the reason that businesses want to work with us is because we have very low downside and a lot of upside. Now, how do we actually sign clients? Well, it's split into two different sections. We've got contacting prospects and then we've got converting prospects. Let's break these two things down. Let's look at contacting prospects. So we need, before we can ever sign a client, to actually let this prospect know that we exist. How do we do this? Well, we do it through cold email. So we drink our own Kool-Aid and we basically generate our own clients through cold email and we generate our clients' leads through cold email as well. How do we do this? Let's break down what cold email consists of. So there's a few different elements that we are going to need. And I'm not going to go into the minutiae details. If you do want me to create a video like that, then just comment below this video and let me know about how to actually set up cold email campaigns. There's lots of information already on my channel about that, which you can check out after this video. But basically what we need is we need a bunch of domains that are similar to our existing domain, so that we can create email addresses that are connected to this particular domain. And so we might have like 50 email addresses that we can use to send out cold emails to our prospects. So what we also need is a lead list. And then what we need is some email software to be able to send out cold emails. And then we need some good messaging. So here's where the most important part of all of this is this one here, the messaging. So what do we say when we contact potential clients, when we contact prospects? What do we say? Well, it consists of, so what we do is we send out emails to generate sales calls. Then we have sales calls and we turn them into clients. We convert prospects, and I'll get onto that in a second. The messaging, it consists of a offer, which is like, how do we put together something compelling? So again, lots of people get confused here. An offer does not need to be, we're going to get you 50 leads in 30 days, or we'll pay for your kids' college education. It doesn't have to be like that. What it can be, what it can be instead is payment terms. Like, for example, pay per lead. That's what PPL stands for, pay per lead. So we can talk about like the estimated number of leads that you might generate each month, or that we might be able to generate you, but it's really just highlighting the why somebody should work with you. So we need to have something compelling. Give somebody a big why. We need to give somebody a big why. Once we've got that offer nailed down, the next thing that we do is the delivery mechanism. Now, what I don't mean by this is like we're sending emails. What I mean is like, how can we make sure somebody actually reads this goddamn offer in the first place? Because there's no good creating an amazing offer if nobody reads it. It's a bit like saying you're going to land in the spam folder. If you land in the spam folder, obviously nobody's going to read it. But if you don't deliver it in like a eye-catching, compelling way, then again, it doesn't work. So we deliver our offer via video. So we send people videos via Loom. So we host videos on Loom, and we send them Loom videos that basically explains what we do, who we do it for, and how we think we're going to be able to help them. And at the end of the video, what we're doing is we're pushing them to our online calendar where they can book in a call on our calendar. And that's how we contact prospects. Once we've sent out cold emails and we've contact prospects, and by the way, if you're getting value from this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It helps it kind of push it out to more people. Once we've contacted prospects and now we've got somebody in our calendar and we're going to start having a conversation with them, how do we actually convert them? And this is something that a lot of people struggle with when they're first starting out. Maybe the references, they haven't got the case studies, they haven't got the testimonials, all that stuff, and they're not really sure how to sign clients. And this is why a lead arbitrage system is so much better than a kind of typical agency, not only for signing clients, but also for the service delivery, because as I mentioned up here, we're not actually delivering the results ourselves. We have to convert these prospects. How do we do it? So we've gone from basically sending out cold emails, and now we are on a call. All we have to do, and this is a slightly simplified version, but I'm not exaggerating that much. We basically just have to like explain our process and then do something that we call the mirror effect. So what is the mirror effect? Because the mirror effect is the really cool thing that separates us from everybody else, and it makes signing clients super, super easy. First of all, we're on the call. We're explaining the process. We're letting them know, look, all you've got to do is you don't have to pay me any money because it's pay per lead. The second order costs are really, really low. There might be a little bit of cost for you to get some domains, get some emails, get a lead list, get some email software. So we need you to cover that, Mr. Prospect. I don't want to be covering it myself because we obviously don't say this part in the call, but basically we want the client, the end client, to pay for the software because we want them to have some form of buy-in into this relationship. We don't want you to be paying for your client's software and therefore the client doesn't really care whether it does or doesn't work. They've got no skin in the game. We want them to have some skin in the game. That skin comes from them paying for the small amount of software that is required to send out cold emails. So we explain the process. We explain how we are very low risk, very high reward. And then we use the mirror effect. They say, yeah, all sounds good. How do I know it's going to work? Most businesses now get stuck because if they're starting out, they haven't got case studies, they haven't got testimonies, they haven't got reviews, they haven't got references. And it's why so many people struggle to sign their first client. First client's always hard, second client's hard, third client's hard, fourth client's hard, fifth client's hard, and then things start to get a bit easier because you've got some reference. But until then, it's a slog. And so many people, too many people, unfortunately, they quit before they get to that stage, which is a real shame. So how do we get to that stage really quickly where it doesn't actually even matter what stage you're at? Signing clients is just easy. And I know for a fact that it is because some of our students have gone from literally never signing a client, never having even a call with a prospect before, to signing 6 clients in their first month. And the reason they're able to do it is because of the mirror effect. So the prospect says to you, how do I know this is going to work? And you say, And you basically hold up, this is my remarkable, but you hold up a mirror and you say, you know how I sent you a cold email? Yeah. And you know how we're having a conversation right now? Yeah. Well, I'm going to do exactly what I did to get you onto this call, but for you. So it worked on you, Mr. Prospect, therefore it will work for you. And to be perfectly honest, you very rarely have to even say that. And the reason you don't have to say it is because so many prospects come onto the call and say, look, it worked on me, so I'm pretty sure it's going to work for me, or something to that they basically say some version of that. They come onto the call already knowing that it works because it's got them onto the call. Especially if you use some kind of call delivery system that they haven't really seen before, something like Loom videos, and we basically automate this process as well. So we can create 10,000 Looms in 24 hours, not a problem. And we can do this at mass scale, which is why we're able to sign so many clients. And it's why our students are able to sign so many clients as well. So we just use the mirror and we say it worked for you, therefore it will work on you. You're on a call here. You're interested in our services. We're just going to do the exact same thing for you. You know how we used the messaging and that was kind of what pulled you in to click on the video? Yeah. You remember how you watched the video and then you booked in a call? Yeah. Well, everything that you just went through is exactly what we're going to do for you so that you can do what I'm doing right now, which is speaking to my ideal prospect on a sales call simply through sending a cold email. Does that make sense? Yeah. Do you want to get started? Yeah. Cool. And it's really that simple. So that is how we sign clients. We contact them through cold email and then we basically use the mirror to sign them because they know that it works. Step 3 is all about delivering results. So how do we deliver results once we've got clients on board? Because as I say, if we go back up here, we're not delivering the results ourselves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this down and show you what my business looks like versus what my students' businesses look like, because mine is a little bit more evolved than theirs. And if you want to start your own lead arbitrage system, mine's going to be a bit more evolved than yours as well. So first of all is SOPs, standing operating procedures. Every business should have them. And over the years of me generating over $1 million through my lead arbitrage system, I've created standing operating procedures on every element of the business. So my students can come in and basically take everything and plug and play. And it's really easy for them to get started. So it's really important that you have standing operating procedures. And this is something that my business and my students' business doesn't differ at all. And so we want to have standing operating procedures on basically lots and lots of different things. So we want to have one on communicating, that says comms, communicating with clients. We want to have them on launching campaigns. We want to have them on sourcing experts, which I'll get onto in a second. We want to have them on payment terms, or like how to charge clients. Everything in the business, we want to have a roadmap, like a first click on this button, then do this, then do this, then do this, then do this, then do this. And just like a walkthrough PDF and a walkthrough video showing you how to do everything in the business, which makes it really scalable. And it means that you can step away from the business, which leads me on to team. So this is where my business and the majority of my students' businesses differ slightly, and that's the team members. Let me walk through the traditional structure. So let's say, for example, we have a client. So this is a client, and then we have you. This is you. So what we do here is we have client and you. And then we have a lead generation expert. So we'll call them lead generator. And so there's like this ladder, I guess, where you are the bottleneck between the client and the lead generator, which is what you want. Because if you go and hire, or you get a client and they basically say, right, I'm going to give you $200 for every lead or every call that you book me. And you say to this person, I'm going to give you $100, and then you let these guys communicate. What happens is over time you become redundant. And that might sound like a good idea, but it's not, because before long, these guys are going to start communicating with one another and you're probably going to get kicked out of the picture. So we don't want that. We want there to be this kind of chain of command. And we want you in the middle that keeps $100. For example, these numbers can change, but this is a pretty typical example. So every time a lead is generated, client gets charged $200, you pay lead generator $100, you keep $100. And you can generate clients, for example, one particular client, we've generated them 300 calls in a month, which is a lot of money, basically. And so each client can be worth quite a lot of money. We always recommend to our students that they're worth a minimum of $1,000 per month in profit to you. If not, you've probably signed the wrong type of client. And we explain kind of all of that in our program. But anyway, this is what the team structure looks like. And then when you get another client here, we do the same thing. And so you're once you've set up the client and you don't really communicate that much, but you do a little bit. So that's the typical process until you get to maybe 10 clients, which, to be perfectly honest, can happen really quickly. We guarantee all of our students will get to 10 clients in the first 6 months. I think it generally happens an awful lot quicker than that. Here's where my business structure looks a little bit different. So we have client and we have lead generator. So we have lead gen here, but the middle person is not me. The middle person is an account manager. So I'm over here basically watching, and I can get involved if I want to, and I can not get involved if I don't want to. And basically, this is me up here, and me and the account manager communicate, but I don't communicate with anybody else. I don't communicate with clients, and I don't communicate with lead generators. I just simply communicate with one person, and that's pretty much it. So what that means is that I can focus on basically whatever I want. I can focus on growing the business. I can focus on growing a different business. I can go play golf. I can do whatever I want. And this business, because it's set up this way, and it's not really because I've set it up this way, it's just because the business model kind of lends itself to be set up this way. I spend on average 1 hour per day on my business. I spend an hour a day communicating with the account manager and doing a little bit of admin-y stuff. So between communicating with the account manager, having a daily meeting with the team, and doing some admin-y stuff, I spend about an hour a day on my lead arbitrage system. So what I always suggest is that you get to 10 clients where you're managing them, you're figuring out how the business really, really works and what can be expected from an account manager. When you get to 10 clients, you move over to the account manager model. You bring that one person in to replace you, and then you can step away from the day-to-day running the business. And this is how you're able to go from, let's say it takes you 3 months to get to 10 clients. It should take you much quicker. As I say, that student grew from 0 to 6 clients in the first month, his very first month. But let's say, for example, it takes you 3 months, which is 3 clients per month on average. You can now focus all of your time and energy and attention on getting more clients. So you could probably go from 3 to 10 clients. So you could get 10 clients per month because you're not focused on your clients. Your time is free. And the old adage, which is really, really important, is you should be working on your business, not in your business. And an account manager allows you to do that. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but it's important that you know the road that lies ahead if you want to start your own lead arbitrage system. Now, the one thing that we haven't talked about is these lead generators. Where do we get these lead generators from? There's a number of ways that we can do it. We can get them from places like Upwork. We can get them from places like Fiverr, and it can work very well. The problem is, let's say you sign a client and you basically pass off responsibility of generating leads for that particular client to the lead generator. And let's say that the lead generator isn't any good. Well, that means that the client's not getting any leads. That means that you're not getting paid. It means the lead generator's not getting paid, and the whole thing falls flat. So we need to make sure that these lead generators actually know what they're doing, and they know how to run successful cold email campaigns. The way that we do this for our students is we take people and we basically train them. We train them on all of our systems, and then we test them once they've been through our training, and basically we certify them. So they're like a certified expert, and they've been through all of our trainings so that our students can basically come in, find a certified lead generation expert through cold email, work with them, and basically let them deliver the results for the clients. To give you an example, one of our students recently signed a bunch of clients, needed somebody to do all the results for them, generate all the results for them. So they set up a calendar event. We put 4 experts that had been through all of our training onto his calendar. He then interviewed them, chose one that he thought he wants to work with, hired that person on a pay per lead basis. And now this particular person is basically looking after all of his clients for him. And you might think to yourself, well, why don't these lead generators just run their own business? And that's like saying, why doesn't every chef run their own restaurant? Why doesn't every taxi driver start their own taxi driving firm? Why doesn't every employee start the business that they're working in? Some people just don't want to. Some people don't have the ability to maybe sign clients. There's a whole list of reasons why, but basically not everybody wants to. Not everybody is entrepreneurial like myself and like you if you're watching this video. There we have it. That's kind of broken down the 3 steps of what we do. Business offering, what we do, how we sign clients, how we convert them, and how we deliver results as well. So if you want to find out a little bit more about how you can start your own lead arbitrage system so that eventually, hopefully, you can generate over $1 million through your own lead arbitrage system, just like I have, then what you can do is you can click the link below this video and you can find out a little bit more about how it all works and then book in a call to speak with yours truly if you like what you hear, and yeah, go from there. Hope you've got value from this video. Consider hitting that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you on the next one.